Welcome back to another episode with Just Heal with Dr. J. Listen, I'm excited about today's episode because I get to sit with my good friend and my brother, Kareem Grimes. Some of you have seen him on All American. Listen, if you haven't, 7 great seasons. I'm hoping 8th season is renewed for my brother because he's a phenomenal actor, but more importantly, he's a phenomenal brother. And also, you've seen him on Grey's Anatomy and Vince Staples' show. Listen, the one thing that I love about Kareem is that he has this range, and most artists, because I call actors artists because they are creating artistically with their gift of expression and bringing these characters to life. But what I love about Kareem is he has this full range of life that he's lived. And you guys don't know his age, but the brother looks like he's in his 20s, but you know what I mean? We ain't gonna talk about, but I don't know what he's drinking, what type of water he's on. I don't know if it's vampire blood, and maybe it's just he's keeping his mind right and living good life and minding his business. See, the business pays him. But man, good brother, man, welcome to the healing community,
Man,
man.
my man. Happy to be here, brother.
Man, listen, bro. Listen, you know, a lot of people are in television, and we'll
Mhm.
we'll get into how I normally engage in
Yeah.
the episode. But man, you look like you're getting younger, man.
Man, God is good, bro. Like literally, it's been a long journey for me in this business. And, when you are aligned with your gift and your passion, um, it just does something to me, man.
Yeah,
And I just feel like I've been renewed and just being able to do what I love.
yeah,
The outside world doesn't get to me because I'm actually living my purpose.
man. I want. That's a moment of pause, and if you're new to Just Heal, with Dr. J, I love to take a moment to pause because I love for things to just rest on us because too many times we hear somebody say something profound and we just ooh ah, but I like to just give it a moment of silence.
Yeah.
And you said the outside world doesn't get to you.
Mhm.
Is that how you stabilize your mental health?
Yeah, man. And, I'm not perfect. Of course, there's some things that come,
Yeah.
but I think, when you strip everything down to the bare bones
Mm.
of, I got a roof over my head, in my right mind, my family's healthy, I'm able to take a hot shower, and I'm able to go to a refrigerator, open it, and get something to drink or something to eat. Once you put your mind in that mindset, it's just like, all right, I'm good. It's perspective. It is perspective.
Man, and when you think about that perspective, is that what gives you because, you're one of the few brothers that I've connected with
Mhm.
over the past few years that every time I talk to you or connect, there's such this lightness to your voice.
Mm.
Is that one of the reasons that you're able to have that lightness is because
Yeah,
your perspective is always in the right
absolutely.
place?
Absolutely, man. I've been on the other side of it. I've been, working 2 and 3 jobs and, trying to make ends meet, still pursuing my career, not giving up, even though you have those pressures. And then once you're able to get out of that, and then being a space where you wrote that dream, that goal down, and now you're living it.
Mm.
I just want to be as present and live in that as much as possible.
Man, what's powerful, man, is everybody today, from you, Rayo, and Kenyon, had all spoke about being present,
Hmm.
and you don't hear men speak about being present
Yeah.
because as much as we will say that women are always trying to control the future, I think there's a part of us
Hmm.
that are trying to control it through performing,
Hmm.
and what I'm hearing from you is that we have to move from performing to just being present.
Yeah. We have to, man, because life can ultimately, like literally, if you're not careful, life can, you know, it can speed up for you if you're not present. You know what I mean? Because you're thinking about something that's ahead and you're not dealing with what's right now.
Right,
You
right.
know what I mean? And, just a lot of things can happen, man. So for me, I've learned through life of just being present, man, of just being in the moment. Um, and for me, that's just helped me so much in my life, man. And that's what I try to do. And, preach to other people.
Yeah. What led you to being present?
Um, Working 3 jobs, figuring out, oh man, this bill due, this, I gotta do this, I gotta do that, I gotta do that. And it's just like, bruh, it's gonna be there.
Yeah.
It's not going nowhere.
It's not
So what are we gonna do right now? What are we dealing with right now? I have a niece and a nephew now, you know what I mean? So making sure that I spend quality time with them, as much as possible and not just off out and about, because then you miss those years,
moments.
those
Yeah.
moments of them
Yeah.
growing up and achieving things
Yeah.
because you're not being present. You're thinking about something that's going on next week that you gotta get to.
So that's one thing that I found myself when I'm hanging out with my nieces and nephews,
Mhm,
man, that it has helped me to be more present. Funny story. So last night I'm out to dinner.
mhm,
I worked and film all day, and my phone died,
mm,
and I couldn't get in touch with my producer.
mhm,
And a friend of mine, it's like a lot of us are out eating, and they were like, "Jay, it's okay," and I was cool.
mhm,
But, I was like, "Man, I gotta talk to CJ. I gotta
mhm.
get all this stuff together." Like, I couldn't
Yeah.
and they were like, "Man, just be in this moment."
Yep.
And, bro, when I tell you, I put the phone down on the
Mhm.
table, and I was cool
Yeah.
because so many moments that we miss
Yes. Yeah, man.
because we're trying to be in the future
Yep. Yeah.
rather than being in the present
Mhm.
moment, because the reality, man, that's the only thing that's real.
That's the only
And to be honest, man, that phone being dead,
probably was the best thing
oh
for the
my
for the rest of that night.
Oh, bro, when I got back home and when I got back to the hotel and to put it on the charger, I was mad
Yeah. Yeah.
because I'm like, dang, now I got to turn back on the world.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Now I got to turn back on to put out fires, and now I got to turn it back on to see
Yeah.
what's needed, and that this person needs an email, this person needs this, and this
Yeah.
person needs that, man. So just to hear you speak about how being present
Mhm.
is important, and I think for those that are watching, I want to make sure that we echo that present actually is a presence.
Yeah.
The presence is, I mean, it's, the present is actually a gift, a
Mhm.
present
Yeah.
for us
Yeah.
to just rest in that,
Yeah.
man.
Yeah. A lot of people, what I tell people is that even right now, me sitting here with you, um, is a present, because it's always good to see you. I know we're gonna have good conversation, but just think, man, somebody didn't wake up today. Somebody didn't wake up today at 2 o'clock on a Wednesday.
Man,
You know what I mean? So once again, once you look at it and put it in perspective, you like, man, I gotta seize everything that's going on right now today. Let me
yeah,
focus on today.
yeah.
Cause they say, tomorrow's not promised.
No, it's not,
That's it, bro.
man, bro. When I tell you, I love your perspective, man. It's so cathartic to hear a man just be centered
Mhm.
because most of the time, brothers are worried about
Yeah.
the next, and
Yeah.
not to discount their worries or their concerns. They're very valid. But I also think that's part of why many of us are aging fast.
Mhm. Yeah, man. Yeah. But once again, it was I had to learn these things through trials and error in life, man. You know what I mean? And women in my life, and mom and everybody is just like, yo, people just be like, yo, just be present. Like, be present. And the main focus, with my career is, and being an actor, is being present and being in the moment.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? And having that repetition, it then transferred to my life
yeah,
outside of the cameras.
yeah. Are you big on repetition?
Yeah. I'm old school.
Yeah,
Yeah, I brought my script with me. I got a self-tape I gotta do later on. So I brought my work with me. You
yeah,
know what I mean? So it's just, I look at it and it's just repetition for me. I'm very old school. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Go to school, then you had to write the times tables,
Timetables,
and
yeah.
Thursday you got definitions, Friday you got a test, so you writing them definitions over and over and over
Yep,
again.
yeah.
That stuck with me. That's got me where I'm at this far. I ain't changing nothing.
And
If it ain't broke, don't fix
yeah, exactly. Because I think also one of the things that I share with my mentees is like sometimes when I'm talking, they just like I said, no, when you hear it, you learn it once. When you
Mhm.
write it down, you learn it twice.
Yes, indeed.
Like when I get on the phone with my mentors, they'll start talking and I'll be like, hold on, pause.
Mhm.
And I'll start jotting down
Mhm.
what they're saying because in that moment,
Yeah.
I know, man, I gotta get all that I can.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, the old school is get all you can and can all you get.
Yeah. Absolutely. Absolutely.
So
No.
so for me, man, writing things down, and I think for me, the football player in me
Mhm.
loves repetitions because
Mhm.
the more you do something,
Mhm.
you build that repetitive
Yes.
nature,
Sure.
it
Yep.
becomes second nature.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Get those
And
reps in.
you get exactly, you get those reps in. So yeah, and I think from football, man, just like being consistent.
Mhm.
And I know being in a space and in a industry where there's rejection,
Mhm.
there's a lot of sort of ups and down,
Mhm.
peaks and valleys, and it's really like an emotional roller coaster.
Yeah, it is.
When you talk about the getting your reps in, what exercises do you do mentally, bro, to balance that, man? Because that's got to be a weight at times. And, I
Yep.
mean, you're phenomenal because I go back and watch Grey's Anatomy,
Mhm. Mhm.
in the episodes, and
Yeah.
you're phenomenal on All American. And I'm looking at the roles you got,
Yeah.
but what about the roles that
Yeah.
you wanted that you
Yeah.
didn't get, that you
Absolutely, man.
knew
Yeah.
you showed up and gave it your
For
best?
sure, man. I think a lot of it is at an early age, me starting in the business in the 80s taught me a lot of how to build tough skin, thick skin with rejection at an early age. And then as I've progressed through this business, and then, studying, my acting teachers have always said, prepare as much as you can and just do the work. You know what I'm saying? If you just do the work and you go in there and leave no stone unturned, you can look yourself in the mirror and say, "Hey, I did my best."
Right, right,
You know what I'm saying? Now, if you come up in there unprepared and you just lackadaisical, you know what I mean? Then, of course, you may second guess yourself because
right.
you didn't go in there with your choice already. You know what I mean? So
That's good.
the mental reps is preparation. You know what I'm saying? Waking up each and every day, writing in my journal, looking in the mirror, affirmations, you know what I'm saying? Being present and say, hey man, I woke up today. I got feelings in my leg, my toes, my hands. I can see, I can smell, I can hear. Okay, everything else is a cherry on top. Let me go out into this day and be better than I was yesterday. You know what I
Right.
mean? Those are the mental reps.
Yep.
Literally talking to yourself, telling yourself, hey man, you got this. Yesterday is over. This is a new day. What we gonna do today that we didn't do yesterday that's gonna make
Yeah.
us better?
Right. So in some way, as much as you're preparing for success and preparing to succeed, would you say you're also preparing for failure?
Yeah, yeah. You go in it with optimism and saying, hey, I'm gonna do my best. Um, if it doesn't work out, it doesn't work out. It wasn't for me. This wasn't the time. So of course you always have that in the back of your mind, but you have more of the positive than the negative. You know what I mean? I'm not gonna take myself out the game before I get in the game.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna let myself prepare as much as I can and say, hey man, just go in there and do your best. You know what I mean? If it doesn't work out, it doesn't work out. But you know that you prepared, you went in there, kicked ass, took names, and left.
Yeah. And the reason I ask it because you have viewers watching and they will say, Dr. J, Kareem, that's good, but what happens when all I know is to prepare to succeed. And what I would say is that if you're preparing to succeed, you are preparing for failure
Mm-hmm.
because failure is part of success.
It is.
And I think that's one of the things that I see that really challenge a lot of individuals
Mm-hmm.
in their mental health is because I prepared to succeed and it didn't work out the way that I thought it would work out.
Right.
And I love to push them to say, what if the preparation that you were doing was helping you to fail well
Mm.
in order to succeed later?
Mm.
Because that's also a part of getting those mental reps in.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because as an athlete or whatever realm of business that you're in and whatever realm that you operate in life, I think there has to be an element where you're not, it's almost like you're not playing to lose, but you understand losing is a
It's
part of
part
the
of it.
game.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely it is, man. And I think, for me, it's just like, let me get to failing fast. Let me fail fast.
I like that.
Give it to me right now.
Yeah.
So now I know what not to do the next time. You know what I mean? And for me, that's just what it's been like. Man, there was a show called The Shield. I auditioned 17 times. 17 times, brother. In between those 17 times, I would book. They would write the character out. Oh, we're going a different route. We're not doing this anymore. 17 times. Now, after the second or third one, the average person would have been like, man, don't even call me no more. But my agent gave me a nugget. He said, listen, if they're calling you, if they keep bringing you back, that means they want you. They want you to succeed. They want to put you on the show for something. He said, be concerned when the phone stops ringing. And I was just like,
Now,
oh, okay.
but here's my pushback. Here's my pushback as a therapist. That don't sound good
Yeah,
if I'm getting called back 17 times.
yeah.
So what was your process to process that nugget? Because that sounds good in theory.
Yeah, it does. It does, man.
How did you process that to keep going back? Because okay, let's say you went back the second time, you went back the third time, and by this time you look up, you're like, damn, bro, this is the eighth time.
Yeah. Yeah, man. I think it was just more of a my faith had to come in my faith had to be so strong,
And
bro.
when did your faith come in? After the 9th, 10th,
And
11th,
after
12th?
the third one.
After the third?
What you talking about, bro? After the third one, that's all I'm gonna give you 3. And then after that, I'll be like, Lord, okay. All right, what's going on? You know what I mean? And for me, it was just like having to revert back to when I play organized sports. There's a bad play, you let it go, get ready for the next play. You know what I mean? So that's what I had to do. With auditions, you do it and you let go of it. You don't hold on to it, you don't take it with you, and you just keep it pushing. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? And once again, you just prepare as much as you can. You know what I mean? And um like I said, with the preparation and going in, of course, there's the losing part of it. You know what I mean? So once you don't hear back, you're like, okay, so what can I learn from this
Yeah.
that I
And
can
that's
take
and
on
that's what I
next
was
one?
gonna ask you.
Yeah.
What did you learn about yourself after
Resil-
17 times?
Resilience, not taking no for an answer. Um, uh, yeah, like literally resilience, man.
Yeah.
When I tell people that, they be like, "Man, listen." Probably after the second one, I just be like, "Don't even," if they call me back, I don't even want to go in.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So
That's a lot to digest,
it
man,
is, man.
on the
You know what I
brain.
mean? But once again, the blessing, it may take a while to get there, but the end result, the blessing is that I end up doing 3 seasons on it.
Wow.
So just think if I would have said, "Man, I'm cool on the 17th one." I would have
So
done the
I
3 seasons.
I just want to let that sit for a while because there's somebody that is watching that has tried therapy.
Mhm,
I hear that a lot. Doc, I've tried it. It doesn't work.
mhm.
And I have to challenge you to try again and to not allow one experience to determine other experiences
Mhm.
or future experiences. There's somebody says, "Man, I've tried that before.
Mhm.
It doesn't work." And I don't want to, and I want you guys to hear me with your heart. I don't want to invalidate what you feel about trying because there's a weight to keep trying.
Mhm.
Because even to say that I'm resilient at times is also a weight because it's like, why do I keep getting back up?
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, why do I keep fighting? Why do I keep doing this thing?
Mhm.
And I would say this to add to what I'm saying is that when you are committed
Mhm.
to an outcome
Mhm.
that's conducive to the future and to the version of yourself that you want, you would have went back 20 times.
Man, come on, bruh. I can leave right now. That's powerful. That's powerful. Yes, you do it because you know if you keep knocking them down, all you need is that one yes. All you need is that one open door. You know what I mean? And knowing and having that mental to say, listen, no matter what, this is the outcome. This is the goal to be on television, to be on a hit TV show. You know what I'm saying? To be able to be on set to do what I love. That's why I came. That's why I went back 17 times because I love it. I love it. I love what I do. I love it's not work to me.
Wow,
That's my passion. And once you find your passion, you'll never work a day in your life. So I'm not working. I'm having fun.
man.
And I get paid to dress up and they feed me. Come on, bruh. Come on. What job you know that's gonna give you clothes, feed you, and pay you?
Yeah,
Come on. So that's why you asked me earlier, man, it's such a light, bro, because I done been through the shit. I done been through it. I know what it feels like. I know what it feels like to go to a job that you don't want to go to. And in between that, you got an audition that you got to go to. Mentally prepare for that. Then go right back to a job that you don't want to be at. So now you got to change your mental from, I got to be ready for this. And once that's over, I got to switch my mind back to that.
yeah,
And then once you make it to where you've been writing your goals and praying God, and this is where, why I got to be angry? I have no reason to be in a negative mindset because I'm doing what I love, because I prayed for this and I wrote it down as a goal and I'm doing it. So why do I need the outside world to make me in a negative way because I'm doing what I love? This is what you blood, sweat, and tears, work hard, 10, 13-hour days, driving Lyft, driving Uber, working this job, working that job, going to auditions, this, and now you here? Man, please. You can't knock me off my square because I done been through it.
man. You helping somebody, bro.
I done been through it. So once you get to that goal, that thing that you want so bad, you're gonna appreciate it more.
Yeah,
You're gonna appreciate it more. You're gonna treat it right because you know what the other side look like.
and you know what it took to get
And
there,
you know what it took to get there.
bro. When I tell you, you just helped so many people. I'm hearing the sighs even in the room as we as
Yeah,
sitting here.
yeah,
You helping people
yeah.
because this road to self-discovery, this journey to living the life that we desire in whatever way, in
Mhm.
whatever capacity, it requires much from us.
Yes.
And let me tell you this, what it requires would never be fair.
Never. It ain't.
Would never be fair. So we have to remove our mind, and this is helping somebody to because some of you, your mind is blocking you from getting to the other side.
Mhm.
And you'll call it a mental health issue, but what it is just a mental challenge.
Yep. That's it.
You just have to do the work because, brother, I'm sitting here thinking that 17 auditions for 3 seasons.
Yep.
And some of you won't give up 1 year for
Man,
10 years or for the rest of your life.
come on, bro.
Some of you won't give up 2 years, 3 years. You won't do the therapy. It's like I tell people,
Yeah.
I said, and they said, "Well, if you could go back and do it again in therapy and to seeing where you are," I said, "Man, I would do it all over again
Yeah.
because those 5 years that I was in therapy has now put me in the position
Mhm.
to where I free people now."
Yep.
You know what I mean? To
Yeah.
where I'm able to really take my life
Mhm.
and to allow it to be an example
Yeah.
and an instrument for God to use.
Absolutely.
And I'm just sitting here thinking, 17 auditions,
Yeah, man.
and you got 3 seasons out of it.
Yep. Yep.
And it started with just the first one.
Just started with the first one, bro.
And if you never made it through the first one, you would have never knew that you would have had 3 seasons
And
waiting on.
we probably wouldn't be on this couch talking, bro.
And how did that opportunity, Kareem, open up other what did that opportunity from The Shield do?
I met I met my boy Jamie Turner, who at that point was a story editor. And then fast forward, he's now the co-showrunner on All Americans.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? So God had a plan. You know what I mean? It was just you gonna stick to this plan. You know, there's gonna be some obstacles, but what you gonna do? You gonna give up? You gonna stop? Or you gonna keep pushing through?
Yeah.
And, you know, by me knowing him, not even just All American, like he's got me a job on another show that I was, you know, I was think on my second interview for FedEx and I was working another job. And he was like, "Man, I got something for you." You know what I mean? Because he knows that I'ma show up
Right.
on time. I'ma do the work. You know what I'm saying? And I'ma treat everybody with respect.
Yeah.
And that has led to, you know, me being on this show for 7 seasons when the character was only supposed to do 2 episodes. It's those things make me it's those things of just um, you know, showing up, man. Um, and just doing the work. Gotta do the work.
I wanna back up because you said the character was only supposed to have 2
Yeah.
episodes.
That character was only supposed to do 2 episodes, man. I get shot in the season finale. Um, but the showrunner who I met 10 years prior, I did her I did an episode, her first script for TV, which was Bones. And that's how I met her. And on that show, probably probably the most money I made as a guest star because they kept pushing production back because people kept getting sick. But that's how I got to know and catch A, who's the showrunner of All American. So I meet Jamie 10 years, I meet NK 11. And then fast forward, they're both on this show.
Wow. And you've been on All American how many seasons?
7 seasons.
7 seasons. From one decision
One decision. Yep.
to keep going back to
A 17 audition, 17 times audition.
if that is not healing enough for somebody to keep doing it again.
Mhm.
Doc, it's not working. Kareem, you don't hear me. Keep doing it
Again.
again.
Yeah.
Well, they said no. They said, I needed this. Keep
Keep
doing
Yeah.
it again.
Yeah.
And I think we said in the previous sessions that healing is not linear.
Mm-mm.
It's not. That thing is probably one of the most difficult tasks that you're ever going to do because you're going to have to rip some band-aids off.
Mhm.
You're going to have to take some masks off,
Yeah.
and you're going to have to take off the clothes that you have been wearing. And I'm meaning the clothes are the labels that you've attached to yourself from the experiences that you've had.
Yeah.
Because you have a traumatic experience, and now the traumatic experience become how you identify yourself because you go, my name is such and such and this happened.
Mhm.
and this happened. This is why I dot 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 dot.
Mhm.
That's a piece of clothing that you are attaching
That's
to
true. Yeah.
yourself. And this is a not invalidate your experience, but I believe in this moment you can take what Kareem is sharing in his moment is to keep doing it again. And doing it again, meaning that you may have to do something different when you do it again.
Yeah. Yeah. It's it's sometimes you have to revert back to when you were a kid and you had the opportunity to be outside and play, ride your bike, skateboard, whatever it is, and you scrape your knee or your elbow. You didn't stop. You either went to a water hose, put some cold water on that thing, got the
Mhm.
dirt out,
Yeah,
and you was like, all right, I'm ready to go back.
yeah.
Go in the house, had your mama put that green alcohol on your
Man,
on that wound,
gonna burn the hell out you.
burn it, and then put that Band-Aid, and then send you right back on out
Sitting back
there.
out there.
You didn't stay in.
No.
You went right back out there.
Yeah.
So everybody is capable of doing it. You're capable of doing because you did it when you were a child.
So what you saying, Koreans, we're all capable of healing.
Absolutely. We've done it time and time again. When you had the chicken pox, did you just stop and just be like, "Oh, it's over"?
Yeah.
You put that pink lotion on, laid in that bed, ate that soup and crackers, watch them stories with your grandmother or whatever.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then once them bumps went away, you was outside.
Yeah.
You was ready to go.
Yeah.
That tooth came out, take that thing out, put in your pillow, have some money. You went to school the next day. That
And
tooth grew back. So that lets you know we can heal ourselves. We just got to do the work.
mm, yeah, but just let this marinate. We can heal ourselves, but you got to do the work.
Mm-hmm.
This last question I want to ask as I ask every guest, and it is really the staple of this show and what it represents. What does healing means to Kareem?
shedding something, shedding something old that was holding you back or whatever it is, and seeing something grow new. You know, looking at it from a different perspective. Um, yeah, shedding something old and letting the new
Mm,
growth come in.
man, I love that.
You know what I mean? Um, you know, we are we are powerful beings. You know, the tongue is life and death.
Yeah.
So what you gonna do with it? You
Mm,
can continue to feed and say negative things, and that continues to snowball, and your life continues to look the same way. Or you can self-check yourself each and every day.
you know,
Thoughts become things. Thoughts become things. All right, let me check myself. Let me go into a mental space of thinking of something positive. What brings me joy? What brings me happiness? What puts a smile on my face? Let me start with that little thing right there.
yeah,
And then let's go to the next. You know, I think everybody has the power to write your own ticket to happiness. You do. You put a song on, your favorite song, you get to smiling, you get to dancing
yeah,
just off of a song.
yeah.
Or you pull a picture up or a pair of shoes or clothing and you like, oh man, okay.
Feeling good.
Got that itch on. All right,
Yeah,
I'm ready to go. So we have the power to do it.
yeah,
You just got to go forth and do it.
yeah,
It's going to be a little uncomfortable, but you got to do it.
yeah.
You're worth it. You're worth it.
Man,
You're worth it. Everybody is here for a purpose, a reason. Don't don't let that die out.
Man,
because you're here for a reason. God don't make no mistakes.
no.
Period.
Man, I'm just basking this in, man, because the "you're worth it" part uh, stands out to me in everything that you're saying. That we're worth taking the risks,
Yeah.
we're worth taking the journey, and this podcast speaks to both men and women. But for the men that are watching, and this is just a message to you. And I want Kareem to look in his camera and talk to you as we close this out. And I'm just telling you that, brother, you're more than worth it, man.
Yeah.
You're deserving of it. Kareem, and I just feel this in this moment, man, because I'm sure, you know, individuals look at your character and look at what you've been able to do, your body of work,
Yeah.
and acting. But in this moment, if you could, just take an opportunity and just talk to a brother or a sister that may be struggling to make the decision to do it again. If you could just speak to them.
Yeah. I'll break it down simple. Out of a billion sperm, you made it. You the one that made it to the egg, and you are here. Out of a billion, you special. You are special. You are here for a reason. You have a purpose. And all you have to do is do that work to find out what that purpose is for you. But you're here for a reason, you know. And from that point on, like I said, you have the ability to write your own ticket to happiness. But you got to do the work.
Brother, what a way to close it out. You have your own ticket to right to happiness, but you got to do the work.
Yep.
Brother, it's always, it's rich when we talk because
Yeah.
we go deep
Yeah.
and we have these cathartic conversations, man, that are encouraging to me, and then they're life enriching for the soul.
Yeah.
And so, man, I speak blessings over you, man.
Thank you, brother.
I'm praying that you get another season with All American,
Yeah.
and praying that all of your endeavors, your auditions, all of the things that you're putting your hands to, that God not only breathes on it, that He blesses it and allow it to expand.
Thank
And that He keep expanding your territories and giving you years of youth, man. Because like I said, brother, I don't know I know your real age, but ain't none of their business what your age is. But my good brother here is thriving and aging backwards. And as we're closing out, to my brothers that are watching, man, brothers, take care of yourself.
Yeah.
Go to the doctor. Stop ignoring the chest pain.
Yeah.
Stop ignoring the leg pain. We need to age better so we can get to the place where we are pouring wisdom back into this world. And I love that you do that, man, on
Yeah.
your platform, and then you do that through your work, brother. So, man, thank you for joining me today, man, on this healing community,
Right.
man. As always, good seeing you, man.
Yeah.
Listen, you can listen to Just Heal with Dr. J audibly on the Black Effect podcast, iHeart podcast, or anywhere else that you listen to podcasts. Don't just pop in and listen to what's happening over here in the healing community. I want you to subscribe and join Just Heal with Dr. J YouTube family. And over here, we're healing and we're doing some great things. And I'm just excited about what we're doing here. And I'm excited that you get to listen to conversations that's going to encourage you to continue to growing, encourage you to continue expanding in life. And until next time, remember, healing is a journey and wholeness is the destination.